The one and only Michael Venom Page is joining us right now. Michael, are you there?
Yes, I am. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for coming on a little early, Michael. I appreciate it. And congratulations on the boxing debut, the successful boxing debut on Friday. How much fun did you have out there? You look like you were having a great time, but now that it's over, now that you got to go in there and actually box, how much fun was it?
Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah, you know what? I think it's very apparent from all of my fights that people can see that I enjoy what I do, and boxing is no different. I enjoyed the preparation, as hard as it was. But yeah, and when I finally got there and stepped into the ring, it was just as enjoyable. So yeah, I'm glad it went the way it went.
What do you enjoy more now that you've done them both, boxing or MMA?
It feels this obviously it's just a different rule set, but obviously I'm a kickboxer and I enjoy being able to use my legs as well. So and I feel like I can be a little bit more creative in MMA, but I just enjoy the spotlight. So I did have a blast doing boxing, and I'm definitely eager to do some more boxing. But yeah, I still love MMA.
Okay, so how did this come about? David Hayes, your promoter, correct?
Yeah.
So did he approach you about doing this? Did you approach him? How did it all come about and when?
So about David Hayes is a very good friend of my coach, Alexis Paul and Marius. They're all very good. They're all very good friends. They've done work together before. He's actually done some fitness work for some of his bouts with my coach before as well. And he used to come to the gym a lot of times, just to socialize and talk to his friends. And obviously had the chance to watch some of the fighters that are in the gym. And probably about 4 or 5 years ago now, he came and watched me spar, and I was doing boxing rounds at the time. And he was like, "Man, you should come over and do some boxing. Like, you're really good at it." And from way back then, it's always been something that I kind of wanted to do anyway, even if it was similar to like a McGregor, like a one-off, just spectacle, just so I can experience, the boxing world. But the more he kind of came down, and the more we spoke about it, and the more boxing rounds that I did with some, high-level boxing athletes, then that's the more it kind of made me think, yeah, I'm actually capable of doing this, but I don't just want to switch over. I want to be able to do both.
Okay, and so then you go in this situation. Was it hard to get Bellator to let you do it? I mean, from my conversation with them, they didn't seem to have that much of a problem, but you are a prized possession for them, and this is not under their banner. This is not under their umbrella. Was it hard to get their consent, their green light to go out and do this last Friday?
For this one, no. I was actually supposed to fight beforehand. When David Hay first fought Bellew, we was pushing. The turnaround was extremely quick. I think Bellator wanted to play or just be a bit more involved in it. So when we spoke to them initially about wanting to do it, they were happy for us to do it. But then when we started, producing like licenses and this and that, they were like, "Whoa, this is actually going to happen quick." And then we told them the date. It was a very, very quick turnaround, and they weren't happy at that time. But more, not necessarily for me to box, just the way and how quick it all happened. So they wanted to be a bit more involved. So we had to kind of postpone that. And so we knew from the beginning they were in full support. But we just had to kind of work more with them, which makes sense. So we waited a little bit longer, and then obviously the opportunity came for the show this time round, and yeah, they've been in full support.
Is your next fight in MMA, and is it December 15th in Newcastle?
This is what everyone's saying. Even if I haven't actually had a conversation with anybody, I know obviously everyone's excited for me to jump back into MMA, and if I can, my aim is to get another boxing fight and another MMA fight in this year, there's not much time. So I literally straight after Friday, I was training Saturday, just working on my wrestling and jiu-jitsu, trying to get straight back into it. I'm still not sure exactly what's going to be happening. Nothing's been confirmed yet, but I'd say over the next couple of days, or by the end of this week, I'll definitely have a better idea of where we're headed next.
Okay, so it could be boxing next?
Potentially, I don't know. I think that's the good thing about me opening this door to box, because it allows me to be a bit more active throughout the year. Obviously, I've been very inactive this year for a lot of different things, but now I'm capable of fighting so much more now. So for me, I think the focus is always going to be MMA. I've still got a lot to prove and a lot I want to prove in mixed martial arts. Bellator, they've given me the chance to box, so they're always going to have they're always going to be first priority. But if I'm able to, I would like to be able to box as well one more time, as well as a mixed martial arts fight. So yeah, hopefully you'll see me twice this year.
When you were supposed to fight a few months ago and pulled out, what was the injury?
Sorry. My knee went again. I had a neck injury as well. That was pretty bad. For me, I still kind of wanted to do it. It's always the same thing as a fight. You still kind of wanted to do it. My coaches they're just not happy if I'm not going in. You never really go in 100%, but if you're not going in properly, and he's like, if you lose because of due to an injury, you're going to be equally as frustrated. And I was so eager to fight that time. It was in my hometown. A lot of people that come over to support me. I was absolutely fuming. I actually didn't even want to go, but I had teammates fighting on the show as well. So I was like, I got to make sure that I turn up and support them. But it was good for me to be there. But yeah, it's the same old, and this is what I find with the mixed martial arts training. It's so much more rigorous on the body, and you are really beating yourself up a lot. I'm constantly, because of my style as well, I'm constantly getting twisting my knees and my neck and stuff. So it is what it is. But I'm eager to get back in there.
Then, of course, when you were at that event, that's when the whole thing with Paul Daley escalated a little further. I saw that you did a scrum after the win on Friday, and you were like, "Oh, who's Paul Daley? I never heard of this guy before." Why is this so hard to make? Why are we tempting fate here? I feel like we're playing with fire. This is such a great fight. This will get the world talking, especially England. I mean, this is the biggest fight in between two English fighters, maybe of all time. And I feel like we're further apart than ever. What's the issue here? Do you not want to fight him? Does he not want to fight you? What's the problem?
Well, you can only ask for a fight so many times and it not happen. And for me, I'm just losing interest. He's losing fights, calling me out, and then not wanting to take the fight, and then he's winning fights, calling me out, and then not wanting to take the fight. I seriously I don't have any. I just don't care anymore. It's legit dislike. I felt he was very disrespectful in one of his interviews when we were supposed to be quite cool. And obviously not the best of friends, but we've always been able to sit down and talk and have fun. We've been on multiple trips doing promotions together and stuff. So I felt disrespected then. So I was like, you know what, the best way to settle it is in the cage. And it just feels like it's a battle to even get the fight to happen. I can post pictures of contracts with me signing, with it signed and his name there. And then again, there's just excuses as to why he doesn't want to fight. For me, I know how big the fight could be, but I genuinely don't care anymore. It's just not. I'm just not interested. I'm kind of tired of this this whole back and forward thing. If it happens, then it happens. But for me, I'm not chasing it anymore. It is what it is.
Wow, this is depressing news, Michael. I could understand where you're coming from. There's no doubt about that. So is it fair to say that you have officially moved on? Like you are not entertaining this fight, even if it's brought to your attention, even if they say we want to go to the O2 in February, and have you guys finally fight? Like, you're done with it? You're not even going to entertain the idea of fighting him?
Well, if they get the paper signed first, and I'm being very specific with this one as well. Now I'm saying the only way I'm going to fight him is if he puts his whole paycheck on paper, and I'll do exactly the same. Winner takes all. I'm not. If I was to lose that fight, I don't want a penny for losing that fight. And if I win that fight, I don't want him to get paid. I don't want him to be able to do anything. But the best you're going to get is your sponsor. So hopefully he's doing well on the sponsorship side. But put your whole paycheck up, and then I'll happily fight you. But outside of that, I'm genuinely not interested. There's so many big names and big fights out there anyway. And I know for me, he's going in one direction. I'm still growing, and I don't feel it's the same for him. He had a great win in his last fight, but I think he's trying to be a bit too tactical about things, and I'm just not interested.
Wow. So, I mean, in other words, the fight, I mean, there's no way they're going to allow that, right? We've heard people throw out that stipulation, oh, give up your personal. I don't think they'll ever agree to that. I don't think he'll agree to it. So it's safe to say it's dead.
You know, that's the thing. It's down to the fighters. For me, like I said, like, this is how much I don't like him. My thing is, I do not want a penny for losing that. I'm being dead serious. I don't want not £1, not $1 for losing a fight like that. So he should feel the same. If he's, you know, he's the one that keeps calling me out right now. I'm not even interested anymore. He keeps calling me out, so there must be something to it. So if you're that confident about yourself, put your purse up. Because if both fighters are happy to do that, I don't see why the promotion wouldn't. There's no reason for them to say no, you guys shouldn't do it that way. You know what I mean? It's both of us. So if he's happy, if he's that eager to come and fight me, let's make it a bit more interesting. Put your purse up.
Have they brought up the subject again since Friday or in the last week or so? Have they said, we want you to do this? What do you think of this fight? Has his name come up to you at all?
No, not yet, because after his last fight, he called me out again. Bellator approached him then, supposedly. They already approached him saying, yeah, let's get it signed. And then he changed his mind in the back office. So again, I think even Bellator are getting a bit annoyed with hearing him call me out and then not actually wanting to follow through. So
wow.
Like I said, now everyone understands why I'm getting frustrated. But for me, yeah, I'm not. I don't care. Like, you haven't seen me post anything about him. That's why I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. It's only for you, Ariel, that I'm actually even mentioning anything.
I appreciate it.
No problem.
It's just there's magic between you two. It's a magical thing when you get two fighters, you know, especially from the same country, and you're such exciting fighters. I think everyone wants to see the fight. It kind of bums me out that it seems like we're further than ever.
Yeah, well, you know, it's for me, it's down to them to try and make it all happen. I'm just saying, right at this moment, I'm just not chasing it. There's, like I said, there's loads of other fights to make. So I'm just not chasing this fight anymore. It's been one-sided the whole time. I've pushed and pushed. You've seen the posts. You've seen all that. That was me trying to entice him to take the fight way back from when he ended up changing his mind and going towards Roy McDonald. And again, I was very, I understand what he tried to do, and I didn't take it personally. I was like, cool, but we still need to make this fight. And then again, straight after that, he's decided to go somewhere else again, because the first excuse was supposedly he was going to go into kickboxing and do a Bellator kickboxing fight. So I was like, well, if that's your reason, and me and you can kickbox, let's go over. Let's both of us go over to do it. We're both on Bellator banner. Let's both of us kickbox. Then he changed his mind again and said he's got business to deal with or something, like personal business. So I was like, okay, fine. And then all of a sudden I'm hearing he's calling out Larkin and saying, oh yeah, I've already signed the contract. So I was just like, I don't understand what's happening. So it just feels like anything I tried to do to get this fight was just being, sidestepped. So again, I've just lost interest. I don't even have that kind of fire in me anymore in the same way. Like when it first happened, I was like, man, I really want to punch you in your face. And now I'm just not even bothered. I just see you as a joke, and I've lost like all respect for that person.
Anyone in the welterweight division that does get you excited, that does pique your interest, that you do want to fight if you return later on this year?
Remember, for me, like this is the first time I've ever wanted to, even call somebody up, and
Yeah.
I've been the same since I've started in MMA. I've never actually called anybody out. I just enjoy doing what I do, and I feel like I'm an entertaining fighter, and my name keeps growing because of what I'm capable of doing in a cage. And this is just the first time because I felt personally disrespected. And if it was anybody, I get called out all the time. I get people, criticizing my style and criticizing me all the time. But because it was someone that I always spoke in a very respectful way towards, because I felt we had a certain relationship, a certain friendship. That's where I felt a bit more disappointed and disrespected. And this is the only reason why there was even that fight there in the first place. So yeah, this is the only reason I've called him out. Everybody else is just the big names. Everyone's doing. Or the welterweight division is a very competitive division right now with like the Rory McDonald and Douglas Lima. I think Douglas Lima is very underrated, and he's even though he's the champion, people always seem to believe that he's going to lose. And I think he's an amazing athlete. There's so many talented fighters out. Yeah, I'd love to be in the cage with and test myself. So, yeah, I'm just looking forward to those kind of big fights.
Okay, yeah, because I got the impression after the fight on Friday, people were like, this is great. We've seen this from Michael before. He's so entertaining, but I want to see him against the name now. Like, I want to see him against someone that I know, and no longer in these showcase fights. And I would assume at this point you feel the same, right? Like, you want to take that step up as well.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. There's like I said, there's a lot of big names in that division, and I'd love to just prove to everybody that it's not just a flashy style that can't work against high level competitors. I actually know or believe that I usually when I'm sparring more technical guys, I'm actually more capable, a lot more capable of pulling off some of the moves that I'm able to pull off. So yeah, I look forward to proving that.
By the way, I like that you hit him with the killer crossover in the match on Friday. Is that what you did there? Were you doing the killer crossover? Were you kind of? That was incredible. I never seen that one out of you before.
It's actually something I've been practicing in this camp in boxing. I was really just inspired by. I remember watching when I was younger, and probably around 15, 16. I was watching a lot of the N1 basketball, and I just caught up on a video that I had seen the other day, and I started watching a load of it. And then when I came into training to spar, in the next couple of days, I was just throwing it in my sparring, and everyone was like, "What the hell are you doing now?" Well, that's what I've been saying from the beginning. I always get like inspiration from random things, and I'm really enjoying it, adding in my game. So you might see it in the MMA world.
I loved it. I popped for it hard. Congratulations again, Michael. You never cease to entertain and amaze. I'm a little sad, I'm not going to lie, about the Paul Daley development here, but who knows? Maybe they all agree to the stipulation and we get to see this fight sooner rather than later. For now, enjoy the victory, and looking forward to your return to the Bellator cage in the near future.
Yes, definitely. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me on the show again.
Pleasure as always. Thank you very much to Michael Venom Page. Great to talk to him. And again, congratulations on his successful boxing debut. He did hit him with the killer crossover, by the way, and it's amazing that it was inspired by the N1 mixtape.